In this video, I will be answering the question, how much of Minecraft is renewable? Now, I will be using the Google definition of renewable, specifically this one, of a natural resource or source of energy not depleted when used. In other words, I want to figure out how much of Minecraft's items and blocks can be renewed. Now, you may think that everything is renewable in any given Minecraft world, but the thing is, every single Minecraft world has a limit. Some things are finite. Take diamonds, for example. Diamonds are one of Minecraft's most valuable resources, but it cannot be made or crafted. It can only be found, whether it be in caves or naturally generated structures. But eventually you can run out of it. And whatever you're spending your diamonds on, I don't know. But hypothetically, you can run out of it. You have to keep in mind that Minecraft isn't infinite. The world is only 30 million by 30 million blocks. And while yes, I do know that it is practically impossible for anyone in our given lifetime to run out of anything in any given Minecraft world, since there's just so much resources and you'll likely almost never run out, but it is still hypothetically possible given enough time. And while yes, some of you could be saying, well, just go past the border, you'll find more things out there. And while yes, that is true, if you don't know, the further out you go past the border, the more damage you're going to take, to the point where you're going to be taking a whole health bar's worth of damage. Now yes, you could survive with potions, armor, enchanted golden apples, but you're going to be spending so much of it that it's practically not worth the return value just going out there and staying out there just to get more things. And okay, let's say that you don't care what it takes or what you have to use, so long as you get a certain item or block. Well, you see, Minecraft only loads around 500 more blocks past the border until it just stops and there's nothing left, so you're just limited even more. Further proving my point that Minecraft isn't infinite, and you do have a finite number of items or blocks. Some, at least. Which is why I'm here to figure out what is infinite and what is not. What items and blocks are renewable, and which ones are non-renewable. And of course, I don't think it needs to be said, but I would not be using or mentioning any glitches whatsoever, whether it be exploits or duplication glitches, as if I did consider it, then everything in the game would be considered renewable. I will only be using the in-game mechanics and the tools that Mojang has provided the player. And I should mention that I'm currently playing on 1.21.4, and as of the editing of this video, they did announce a new snapshot, 25W02A, which I'm dubbing the pig update. It is currently a snapshot now, but when it does release fully, then I will make a video on it about the new blocks and items and changes it brings and saying what is and isn't renewable. Now, I will be splitting this into separate videos. How much? I honestly don't know yet, I'm just making this as I go along. And yes, I will be mainly using Java gameplay, but almost everything I mentioned could also be applied to Bedrock unless I state otherwise. In this video, I will be going over the building blocks tab in the creative menu. The next video will go over the colored blocks tab, and so on and so forth. And one last thing, please do keep in mind that I am a total dumbass and will likely make a mistake and or spread misinformation. So, if I happen to mess up in some way, then please, by all means, tell me how much of a f*** up I am in the comments. Now, with all of that out the way, let's get into it. Alright, so let's make this extremely easy and clear. All of the wood, from normal oak to bamboo and even the new stuff, all renewable. We can all agree that is, because you know, tree is probably one of the most renewable resources out there. You probably renew it. I have. Don't lie. Let's just skip that section and move on to the rest. Alright, now let's actually start off with stone. Stone is a renewable resource, and there's actually multiple ways to get an infinite amount of it. Either the most famous way, a cobblestone generator, or the not so famous way, you make some lava fall on top of water. That makes stone, if you don't know. And for those who don't know, if water falls on lava, it makes obsidian. If lava falls on water, it makes stone. And lava and water run into each other at the same level, it makes cobblestone. So, this makes cobblestone and stone renewable. And I know some of you will point out, you can make stone by smelting cobblestone. And since cobblestone and stone is renewable, this means that any other block that is made from them is also renewable, such as smooth stone and stone bricks, as well as their slabs, stairs, walls, and chiseled blocks. And, fun fact, you can actually craft mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks. All you need is cobblestone or stone bricks mixed in with vines and it will craft its respective block. And since vines are renewable, this means that all the mossy blocks are also renewable. Alright, next up, granite, diorite, and anorthite, as well as all the little things you can make with them. These three shits are actually renewable. You may be surprised, but you can actually craft diorite with quartz and cobblestone. And in turn, you can use that diorite to craft both granite and andesite. With andesite, you just use granite and more cobblestone, and with granite, you just use diorite and more nether quartz. And you may be saying, but Red, nether quartz isn't renewable. Well, it actually is. And while yes, you can collect it by just finding nether quartz blocks around the nether, you can also acquire it by trading piglins. And you may be saying again, but Red, you need gold in order to trade with piglins. And that is true. But gold is also a renewable resource, because zombie pigments drop gold nuggets, and gold nuggets can be used to make gold, and gold can be used to trade with piglins, and that piglin can drop quartz, which means that the three are all renewable, including all the other blocks that can be made from them. And yes, I know I said zombie pigmen, but I will continue to say zombie pigmen because zombified piglin is stupid, and zombie pigmen will forever live in my heart. Fight me. But anyway, let's move on to the next set of blocks. Tough and deep slate. One of the newer blocks to be added, and are non-renewable. Try as I might, I looked everywhere with my research, and there's no way to, make an infinite amount of it. I don't even think there's an actual way to craft them, so yeah. Moving on, bricks. Bricks are also non-renewable. For those who don't know, bricks is made from clay, and clay is non-renewable because you can only find it naturally. Hey, so editing Red here, so I did discover clay is actually renewable, from two ways. One, it can be actually a gift from a villager, from like defending the village from a raid or whatever. It's only on Java. And the other way you can obtain clay is if you put a mud block on top of a dripstone, that mud block will turn into clay. And mud is renewable, as I'm gonna go into that later on, so yeah. Clay is renewable, which means bricks are also renewable. Good thing I caught it now and not like after post, cause that would have been really bad. So yeah, continuing on with the video. Next up, mud. Another set of blocks that are fairly new. Mud is actually a renewable resource. And for those who don't know, mud is made from water bottles and dirt. And you could be saying, well, aren't water bottles and dirt not renewable? Well, you see, they actually are. Dirt is renewable because you can get it from trading with wandering traders. All the more reason that wandering traders are because you can trade to get fucking dirt from them. Okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration because you can trade to get podzol from them, and that podzol can turn into dirt, but you know what I mean. And as for glass bottles, those are actually renewable because they can be dropped by witches, and obviously water is renewable because duh. So yeah, mud and as well as all the other things you can make with mud is renewable. Moving on to the newest block to be added to the game, resin. Resin is renewable, and for those who don't know what resin is or even how to get it, all you need to do is just go into the new pale garden at night, find a creaking, hit it a few times, it'll lead you to its creaking heart, and then as you're hitting the creaking, you'll be able to find these little beans on the floor or tree or whatever, collect some of that, rinse and repeat, boom, you got resin. And this resin clump can be used to make all the other resin blocks in the game. Easily the most renewable block in the game. Moving on. Sand. Sand, and red sand, is a renewable resource because of our dear old friend that we all hate so much, the Wandering Trader. And for those who don't know why everyone hates the Wandering Trader, it's because their trades are f***ing ass. Unlike villagers, they only accept emeralds. They don't take blocks or items, just emeralds. And these things they offer for said emeralds are also ass, because more likely than not, the things they're offering at that given moment, you're f***ing standing on it. There has only been like 2 times in my entire life of me playing this game have Wandering Traders have actually been useful, because they offer something that at the time I didn't have and need, for example podzol. But most of the time, they're just terrible, and I just kill them on sight, as well as a lot of other players. But anyway, rant over, wandering traders are bad, except here because they could actually make a lot of items and blocks renewable. But yeah, whatever. Sand, red sand, as well as sandstone, all renewable. Moving on. Prismarine. Prismarine is renewable because the things used to craft it, prismarine shards and crystals, can be dropped from guardians, and guardians are renewable, so all the prismarine blocks are renewable. Easy, moving on. Netherrack. Netherrack is actually not renewable, but nether bricks are. Some of you may be surprised, because nether bricks are actually made from smelting netherrack, but they can also be acquired by, you guessed it, piglins. You have a chance to receive a nether brick from trading with them, and that brick can turn into all the different variations of nether bricks. So, nether bricks are renewable, but netherrack is not. Moving on. Basalt and blackstone. First, basalt. Basalt is actually renewable and can be made, but not in the way you think. You see, basalt can be made with lava, blue ice, and soul soil. Have the soul soil on the floor, have the lava in the middle, and have the blue ice on top, and the lava sandwiched will turn into basalt, and that basalt can be made to turn into all the other versions of basalt. Boom, basalt is renewable. Blackstone is also renewable because, say it with me, piglins. Moving on. Endstone is not renewable, as well as the endstone bricks. Easy, simple, you can only get them by the end and you can't craft endstone. But purpur, however, is renewable because it can be made by chorus fruits. All you need to do is grab a chorus fruit, smelt it, it will turn into a pop chorus fruit, and that can be used to make purpur block, and the purpur block can be used to make all the other versions of purpur blocks. Also, while messing around, I also discovered this little funny thing. It doesn't really add much to the video or the whole thing, it's just something I found funny. But this is one of the very few crafting recipes in the game that is what I like to call a cycle recipe, where you can basically do this an infinite number of times. Now, speaking of cycle recipes, moving on to the blocks that have cycle recipes: coal, iron, gold, redstone, emerald, lapis, and diamonds. Coal is renewable because of wither skeletons, iron is renewable because of iron golem farms, gold is renewable because, like I said before, zombie pigments, redstone is renewable because of witches, emerald is renewable because of villagers, lapis is also renewable because of villagers, and diamonds are not renewable. Netherite is also in that boat because it is too not renewable. Quartz is renewable because, like I said before, piglins. Next, amethyst. Amethyst blocks are renewable because of amethyst shards being, growing continuously by budding amethyst, but budding amethysts are non-renewable. Simple, easy. Next, copper. Copper, as well as all the other copper blocks, are renewable because copper itself, the ingot, can be dropped by drowns. And that is it. Copper is the final set of blocks in the building blocks tab, which means we are at the end of part 1 of this little series. The next video will go over the colored blocks and maybe even the natural blocks too. It all depends on how much time it will take making it. But either way, I appreciate you for watching till the end of this video, and like I said in the beginning, please do go ahead and correct me in the comments if I am wrong. But anyways, if you liked the video, then consider leaving a like. If not, consider leaving a dislike. And hey, while you're in the process of liking or disliking, maybe consider subscribing too while you're at it. Either way, I hope you have a great rest of your day.